Welcome back. So in this episode, we're going to learn more about runepowder, which is why the gnomes were here in the first place, and the Harper presence in the area, and we're going to fight some mimics. So let's grab the main character, our bard, and go to the Underdark Grimforge waypoint, and we're going to
Must be
talk
on my
to
way.
stonemason Kith. But before we do, we're going to grab the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, and we're going to grab the Silver Pendant, and we'll equip the Warp Headband of Intellect. And in fact, if we want to, we can even go and look at the Ritual Dagger, which we can use for attack rolls and saving throws if we were going to make any saves. So this is the kind of equipment that we'll be putting on before we make important checks. So we're going to disguise ourselves. We'll pick the human. And we can cast guidance on ourselves as well and go have a chat.
How peculiar. Smooth face, cobbled edges. They're a sign. They must be. A sun dweller in these parts. Look here, my topside friend. I need fresh eyes, and I doubt I'll find fresher.
So we'll ask what we should be looking at.
The rock, the rubble, all of it, if I may be so bold. Take a look. Tell me what you see, and be thorough.
So we have the option to choose the Bard History, and that's what we're going to go for. We have advantage because we're a Bard. We're adding 7 to 13. This is a pretty reasonable check. It's not critical that we make this because the item that we get, we can purchase from him as well.
You recall the tale of a Sharan fortress armed with impenetrable adamantine, a metal created by a gnomish mage. There were also whispers of the gnome's secret project, an invincible guardian, though its existence was never proven.
What do you think?
I think that the Guardian was actually very invincible. We will go ahead and just recite the tale.
How fascinating. I told my kinfolk that book learning has its benefits. A crafty gnome, helping forge a fortress that would last an eon. Mythic metal atop stone hewn by the devoted. That's to say nothing of this tale of an invulnerable protector. It's unfortunate the Sharan's successors found no proof. Doesn't explain this infernal plate I found, though. Here. Take it. Perhaps you'll be able to figure out why it's here. But my work has only begun. There is more still to find. I must get to it.
And we'll ask to trade.
Well, let's see what you've got.
So this Infernal Ally is unlike the Infernal Iron. We can use the Infernal Ally in Act 2 to have Damon forge the entire Hellforged plate set. So we're going to make sure that we take the Infernal Alloy and we are going to send it to camp because it can get consumed to help fix Karlach, and we would rather just use the regular Infernal Iron to do that. We can also buy stuff from him if he's got anything that looks good. We'll grab this Elixir of Heroism. And that's all we need, I think.
That's all then.
All right. So we're going to go through 2 different ways to get to the same place. So we're going to go find the escaped gnome, and we're going to steal the rune powder that she's got. So the first and presumably the easiest way is to head like we were going to the ancient forge, but turn left instead of right. While we're over here, I'll point out that you can jump down here, and there's a couple of scrolls that are on the skeletons in there. And we'll have the main character come over by these doors. And now we'll grab Asterion, and we'll show the other path. So we'll jump back to the Grimforge waypoint.
Quick step.
And walk up to this ledge. This place is accessible with Enhanced Sleep or Misty Step, or we think we've got a Scroll of Dimension Door we could use. But we'll cast Enhanced Sleep, and the trick here is targeting. So as far as we can scroll, we're not going to see it. But if we switch to Overhead View, we'll find the ledge comes into our sight. And we're just going to jump right up here. So there's lots of pathways up here, and just traps up and down this whole zone, and a gate that's hard to get past, medium toughness with 42 hit points. It would require someone who hits really hard, or we can just open this lever, which disarms everything.
Don't mind if I do.
We'll loot this chest. We're going to use this chest armor for our caster for most of the game. It adds +1 to their difficulty class numbers. And we'll grab this Idol of Shar, which is something we can gift to Shadowheart once we figure out that she's a Sharan. And that'll improve her attitude. Yeah, and so Asterion's finding a bunch of traps. It doesn't matter, they're all disarmed.
A trap.
And it's sort of interesting that the dwarves are working so hard to open a door that they could get to if they just owned a ladder. And we'll jump across. So we'll merge the party together, and we could pick the lock of this door, but I'm going to show you a different way to get past it. So when we run over to this area, we'll just cast Featherfall and jump behind it. Coming over here, we've got some scrolls. On this body, we'll find the key to the chest that is over by the mimics, as well as a letter. We're going to want the smartest character to try to read it.
Despite everything.
Cast guidance. And what it's going to tell us is that we can disable the lock on the chest by casting the light cantrip.
What was that watchword?
But we didn't meet it.
Looks
It
splendid.
doesn't matter whether or not we learned that, it still works.
Mind my step.
This door is locked, and behind it is a Maragon and some Hellboars, which is a fight we're going to skip in this particular run.
Anything
This skeleton has the key, so we could just open the door if we wanted to. And this skeleton up here has the mold for the adamantine shield if we wanted it. The molds are scattered sort of throughout the place, some of them not in the open. So we're going to put the group into stealth mode, separate everybody out, and we're going to cast Mage Hand because there's another ambush waiting below. So we'll drop our Mage Hand straight into it. It's immediately surprised, and these jellies are going to make very quick work of our mage hand. There we go. And now we're going to use Asterion to surprise them back. So we'll go into turn-based mode to make it easy to target. Not that we necessarily need the turn-based mode. And we'll shoot. And get our sneak attack. We'll hide. And we'll hide.
Leave no trace.
And we would be doing a little more damage if we had leveled up to 5. We'd have a higher proficiency bonus. We're going to do more sneak attack damage. And the reason I've not done that is that I kind of want to show that Grimforge is doable at level 4.
Let's find some prey. Delicious.
Again, we're just going to hide in between rounds. These jellies don't have an area of effect attack. They don't have a high jump. They can't easily get to where Asterion is hiding. So they're just going to stand there and get shot until they die.
The subtle approach. We'll do it
And
my
we could
way.
snooker this one a little bit, step back, and become visible so that it would see us to come closer.
On the hunt.
But we'll just do this pattern, it's fine.
Leave no trace.
And anytime I say something like it's fine or it's going well, that's going to be a crit miss directly after it.
Let's have a little fun. Now they see me.
This will also help you gauge your average damage,
Just like old times.
which is something that's going to come up when we're clearing the dwarves out. Alright, so that's everybody. We'll group them up, get out of stealth, cast Featherfall. If Asterion for you is a thief instead of an arcane trickster, you can have the main character cast Featherfall.
Over there.
So there are some scrolls, and there are a couple of special arrows sitting over here. The ochre jellies also have
Sunset can't come
a
quickly
very
enough.
weak grenade. We'll grab some of those. I might use them later. We're not going to go through the front door, we're going to come through the back door. And so we'll split the party, and both characters are going to need to go into stealth mode. For Asterion, we're going to re-equip the Guidance Amulet. He's our best stealer of things. We're also going to equip the Gloves of Thievery. Since we're going to be in a cutscene, if you want, we can have Alfira lose her disguise or keep it on. Doesn't really matter.
Going.
But essentially we're going to sneak up on Philomene. Now, because we're stealing both the runepowder barrel and the runepowder vial, if we engage her in very much dialogue, she's going to get super mad at us and go hostile. So this is going to be a very brief conversation. So we have to jump over the runepowder barrel to steal it, because if we try to steal it from the front, we'll actually walk around the back to pick it up. So we're just going to steal it right here, and then it's going to start a cutscene immediately. And when we get to the part of the cutscene where we can have a dialogue with Philomene, that's when we're going to switch to Asterion and come try to pick her pocket.
Hold it! I swear to Iron Hand. One more step and a blow us to chunks. Wait. What in the hell's? Bugger it all. You moved them. Go on. Drag me to Moonrise. I'll make you cunt nutters suffer.
All right, so now that we're at a place where we can access the menu, we're going to click character select, and we'll swap to Asterion. We'll cast Guidance, go back into stealth, and we're going to sneak up and jump in behind her and rob her. Now, it's going to be really important to not engage her in further conversation as much as possible. So she's got some stuff that she could tell us about what runepowder is and who the gnomes are. We're not interested in any of that. We're basically just going to tell her to go away.
A little chicanery. Not even a challenge.
So, item stolen, swap back to the main character. We're just going to say, you're free to go.
Course I am. You got the rune powder, so now you cut and run. Look, you have no idea what you're dealing with. Any true Iron Hand would trade their life for a grain of this stuff. It's the whole damn reason we're here.
And we're just going to say, fine, I've heard all I need. And then leave. And she bails. If we engage in a further dialogue, there's a good chance that she'll notice that the vial of rune powder that she had is also gone and get upset.
What's inside?
These bookshelves have some scrolls. And now that we've got the key to the chest for the mimics, we'll pop back to the Grimforge waypoint and deal with them. So we're going to come up to this ledge right by the stonemason kith. And mimics take half damage from weapons, so we're going to use a candle to add to our damage. So we'll set that down, and oftentimes the candles, you have to click lighting it more than once. I don't know why.
What now?
And we'll select Asterion. Now, we don't actually want to step onto the thing and go down. We want to step kind of over to it. So if we just click in the air, he'll run to the edge. And we're just going to start shooting at this chest. And get a cutscene. If this is your first time playing Baldur's Gate 3, there are a few mimics in the game, and there's really no downside to shooting chests before you try to open them. So make a good habit of, when you see a chest for the first time, shoot it, see what happens. So we can get some path interrupted.
Yes.
Oh, no, come on. It doesn't really matter that much, I guess. We're just going to start shooting it. They're very slow.
Moving.
And we'll climb back up. Now, the reason that we're engaging them from way up here is that they don't have an attack that can go up this high, and they can't climb the rock. So we're essentially invulnerable while we're up here.
Need any advantage I can get. Let's get this over with.
Time to kill.
And we'll just run forward and dip our
I'll
weapon.
kill this.
And these guys are going to come very slowly chasing us. you don't actually want to get hit and bit by them. Their tongue attack will actually pull you towards them, and they can really mess you up. So this is a much easier way of fighting them
Spill some
than
blood.
you would normally get. And we'll dip our weapon again. We'll start hiding and then shooting alternatively to try to generate sneak attacks as they get closer.
I won't give in. I'll strike you down.
They're also immune to acid, so the acid ring that Asterion has isn't going to help. And I just realized why we're not doing as much damage as we should be, because I forgot to swap out for the gloves of archery. So that's going to be our action for this round.
Keep going.
All right, so we're going to go into stealth.
Break them.
And immediately shoot. And if they're close enough,
Comes
that'll
easy these
put us
days.
into sneak attack.
Another trick up my sleeve? What do I have to lose?
One down. We're gonna dip our weapon this round.
Little bite. Excellent.
Step back.
Can't even catch
If you're
my
wondering how
breath.
far to step back, I just use these squares as a guide.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
And if you want, we can turn the toggle dual wielding on and off, so we could make it so that we only have to click once. So on this round we already have a flaming weapon, so we can hide.
No escape.
Do some extra sneak damage. The hide will actually get broken up by the guards that are running back and forth. I think that's kind of funny, the idea that the dwarves might be yelling, you know, oh, he's right over here, to the
I wonder
mimics.
if this is worth the cost.
So we'll toggle dual wielding,
Shouldn't have made me your enemy.
and back up. Here we can see the Asterion still has a flaming weapon, so
They won't know what bit.
we'll hide
Yes.
and shoot. To get some extra sneak attack damage. We'll come back.
Fight.
Our main
Let's
character is out of flaming weapon, so
This'll
we'll
hurt.
charge it this round.
Try me.
And Asterion will charge.
Edge.
And we're getting a ton of damage out of the candle there.
Still breathing, despite everything. Cutting to the
And
chase.
the important thing that we're doing each time that we're lining up the shots is making sure that we're not crawling down the cliff face in order to shoot. So we will crouch and then see if we can get a shot lined up. And it doesn't like to do this sometimes, so now we're going to get a movement aimed where we're edging the ledge, but we're not going down it. And we'll back up.
What now?
Same thing. So if we end our turn very next to the ledge, then they will be able to hit us, and since their attack brings them close to us, they would also be able to bring us down to them, which we don't want. Critical on a sneak attack. That's a lot of damage.
Come on. Can't stay idle.
I forgot to do fire.
They'll feel this.
Where do I go from here? Deadlier than ever.
We'll come to the edge.
They won't
Hide
know
before
a
we
bit.
shoot. And we got him. So we'll pick up our candle. And head down. So we've got one mimic with not that much good stuff in it. A mimic with a magic axe, some money, and a ring.
Never wanted the easy path. Looks like the place the Dark Justicia's letter mentioned. But where's the stash?
And the Wondrous
Left out in
gloves,
plain
which give us
sight,
an extra
perhaps?
bardic inspiration.
No. The Harpers are too smart for that.
Now, if we come down here, we'll
Nothing
find
over there.
this little toy chest. And when we click on it, the big chest will appear. We have the key for it, so in order to disable the trap, we'll cast Light.
Sol Invictus!
And here we can see some evidence that the Harpers had. We talked about the Emerald Enclave and Catherick Farm, so we're getting a little bit of how the game is going to proceed. So we'll pop back to the Grimforge waypoint, and that's going to be it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.